Okay, hey guys, I'm back with another video. Now this one is about the Dyson internal hose. Okay, you'll have the DC 40, 41, I believe. There's a few of them that come with the internal hose is this section right here, this little hose right here, and has a tiny screw that you have to be very careful that you don't lose. Let me see if I can pick it up with the little needle nose pliers. See this right here? This tiny little screw that will go into this section here, okay, to lock it in. And the reason I'm making this video is that let's say you decide to purchase an internal hose, right? When it comes in this pack, normally in a box, it'll be twisted to the side, okay? Not sure why it's shipped like that, but that's how they all come, okay? So let me take this one off. So this is just a few tips for those who already know how to mess with this or willing to try. Okay, there's a big difference, right? Willing to kind of give it a shot, you know, rather than taking it into the service center. So I have this taken apart first. Let me just kind of show you what I did, all right? This is fairly simple. On one side of this, you have the filter, okay, which is on this side, just a twist on, twist off filter. Even have the arrows right here to show you what goes where. See that? Twist on, twist off, right? So the filter comes off. All right. Well, before the filter, you have your, you know, the lock for the ball area here. And then on the other side, okay, the other side, you'll have this ball, right, section here. And what you can do with this, if you notice, have some holes in it. So you get a needle nose pliers and just stick it in the hole here and unlock them, you know, and then let it come right out. All right, let me pop this off because I already took it off. Take it out. All right, come out. Now that it's out, okay, now it's out. You get your same needle nose, and let me get a little close up. You see these little, there are two little holes here, kind of half holes or whatever you call them, holes, right? See that right there? So you will put the pliers in, and then you will just keep turning until it unscrews, okay? And then after a while, you can kind of even do that with your finger and get it off. This will come right off the side, okay? Right, so in other words, it was on here, and you did unscrew, and it just pops right off. So now that you have all that off, you know, it's good to clean it and things like that. You know, that's fine. You know, clean it out. But in order to get to this internal hose to change it, you kind of have to go through a little process here. It's a little scary for the first time person that's doing it for the first time. This particular video isn't about how to change this right now. This is just some tips about this process, all right? I'm gonna make another video where I can actually have the camera work properly. The way this camera is set up, I'm not gonna be able to get down so you can see everything I'm doing because you want to do this on a flat surface. Can't be messing around like this and trying to fix it in the air, okay? But I can at least show you this. So, all right, so when this comes, if you notice, when it reclines, you see how that is on the side now instead of being right here in the center, okay? So when you get it, just pull it, you know, after you install the bottom section, of course, pull it, twist it, and just snap it up, and then it'll just go right into place, all right? But, you know, getting this apart, here's a few little tips about this, about messing with this. Taking screws out is not a big deal, okay? For those of you who want to know which screws you really need to take out, fairly simple. Let's try to do this real quick. Okay, you're gonna remove 1 and 2, and then you're gonna remove this one right here. Okay, you're most likely gonna need a 8 torque, or 10. Maybe a 10 for the 2 and an 8 for the bottom. Let me double check that. All right. I'm doing this on the fly here. Where's my... okay. Just get a set that has them. Get a set that has them all in it, right? I don't want to cut the video. All right, but you get it. It's either an 8 or a 10 for this section here. On this side, looks like a 15. These screws here. Okay, it may also be a 10, but it looks like a 15 on this one. And the way when I'm working, I have my stuff in front of me, and I just grab one that I'm used to seeing, and I just pop it in, and you kind of, after a while you get used to it. You know those guys who when they're talking about engines, and they'll tell you like the torque and this and I'm like, oh, okay. Dude, you remember all those numbers, man. I just know what to do when I need to go in and fix it. All right. Some people do things like that, and some they have all the stats. All the stats for the football teams and everything else. Remember every single stat. That's a whole lot. My brain doesn't work like that. I'm more of the creative thinker, big thinker. Show me all the big picture in this thing. I'll leave the details for someone else. So don't feel bad if you don't remember all those little details. Okay, write them down if you have to, or have a system to help you. I just use a system. It helps keep my brain on the things that matters. All right, back to this. All right. So now you get again, it looks like a 15, but what you're going to end up doing is you're going to take these 4 screws out. See this? 1, 2, 3, 4. And you may not do this yet. You may wait until you kind of unlock this. What you're going to do, you're going to take this off. Okay, take this piece off. Below this is going to be 2 more screws embedded in a white section. All right, that kind of twist and turn. So you may have to recline this to expose it. You may have to recline it to expose the two screws embedded in the white thing there. And I'm like I said, I'm gonna have a video showing you how to do this. This is just to explain a couple of tips, right? So you remove these 2 screws here. Now you can literally kind of break loose this section, kind of open it up, open it up so you can get to this under here. You can kind of pry this off, if you can visualize that. Okay, now that you separated, now that you unlock this and you unlock this, now this whole section here is movable. This whole section is movable, okay? Now that you move that, you can take the screws out, put the new one back in, okay? But here's the problem. Here's the big thing you need to look out for. Okay, as this reclines, okay, as this goes back and forth like this, you see this moving part right here? Okay, all right, there's a set of teeth. And again, my other video, I'll have it. There's a set of teeth that looks like this, and it kind of, okay, so it's black at the bottom and white at the top where that little white thing is, okay? Right, and when you take it off, be ready, because, how do I explain this? Make sure that the back of it, the teeth starts here. So when it reclines, this is what, if let's say you put the teeth in over here, or you put it in over here and you forget about these at the end. What's gonna happen is when you recline the unit, okay, and you try to put it back up to stand, it'll end up locking like this instead of like this, okay? You understand? So you're vacuuming, everything is good, right? But then when it's time to put it back, the lock will happen somewhere back here, okay? Your machine would never stand upright, okay? So that's something to remember when you're messing with that, all right? That's probably it. Also, for some of you who may have suction issues, the reason why some people have to replace this most of the time is because this broke. But a lot of the times it's because down here, there's a tear down here, okay? And all your suction is escaping, okay? And you went through all your search, you cleaned out your hose and everything else, and it's like, but why do I still have bad suction, the air is escaping down below here, and that's hard to see. Okay, here's the other reason for bad suction with these things here. When you start messing with your internal hose, while you're at it, while you take this whole thing apart, just clean out this little section here, because that gets clogged up a lot. All right, but yeah, those are the tips. Quick reminder. Let me see. The hose is gonna come twisted, so don't feel like you're gonna break this thing. Be mindful of that tiny little screw that you have to take out of this thing. It's easy to lose. This is delicate, so be careful when you're installing this thing. It'll clip, and just make sure that when you do put in the teeth for this section here, that is lined up. The end of it they're lined up. And I'll show you in another video how to actually do this when I can get it set up properly so the camera can fit. I think that's about it, guys. I think that's about all I can do. Also, these filters, be prepared to replace them. See how black that is right there? Okay, that's a lot of soot from the carbon burn off. And if pet hairs made it this far in, see that? Let me see, some pet hairs there. Yeah, I mean, it's time to replace these things. So periodically, I know they say to wash them, but the reason why I'm not a fan of washing filters like this, number one, this is paper at the end of the day. This is paper, okay? And what's stuck between the creases is the dirt and all that stuff. And yes, you can bang it out, but then once you wash it, if it's not completely cleaned out, it's gonna dry hard. And then it's gonna make it a lot harder for the air to pass through this thing. So, if you wash it once or twice, fine. Follow the instructions. It tells you to leave it out in the sun for 24 hours and all that stuff. But after that, man, it's time to replace it. Don't just keep trying to reuse this thing over and over again. It's not gonna be good for the machine. All right? And that's for all HEPA filters with paper. Okay? Keep that in mind. That's it. Till next time. All right? Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.